Today, we are going over NFL Week 8 lines and fantasy plays. If you are unaware, we have a game we play. You, the subscribers, will receive one of 3 signed jerseys being shown right now. The person with the lowest points after the season will give away their jersey, and more information on this is in a link in the description called The Board. It goes over the details. It's 2 or 3 minutes. Key here is only our subscribers will be entered, so subscribe. It's free. And if you hit the like button, it really helps out, especially as a smaller YouTuber. It's much more important. Keeping our podcast alive. So together, we decided as a group that we were going to dress up for the show, or at least that's what we told Joe. Right afterwards, we got together and said we're not dressing up, right? So, Joe, why did you choose Tigger?
Interesting.
It was a family costume. My daughter was Winnie the Pooh. Wife wanted to be Piglet, so I chose Tigger.
Now the thing that's hanging down in front of your face, I can't look at that. Take your hat.
Yeah.
Take your hat off.
It is just as no.
But wave to your fans.
Yeah. Look what I feel like. Yeah, thanks for putting me in on the joke, fellas. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Now, last week we did have a really good topics video, and I blew up my computer. So new one's coming to edit quicker. Now I can get one a week done. Yeah, sorry last week. That was that might have been my fault, but I'm not positive. I could force blame somewhere else. So you want to jump right into it?
Let's do it.
We didn't do bad last week. I went 7-6. I can't complain at 7-6.
No, that's good.
I did a couple 10-win tears. It got me kind of spoiled. But 7 wins is nothing to shy at. You want to be about 5. Mm-hmm. And that's what you guys were. We're 5. So we're still doing pretty good. Do you guys have anything to say about the Thursday night game?
Personally, it was very disappointing for me since I was playing more. So that was pretty sad.
The Falcons, to me, they're looking like the Falcons that I thought they're supposed to be all season long. And right. Carolina looked like a team that's rebuilding. They did not look good at all.
They're so close.
Yeah.
They're so close. They're still
a couple pieces.
It's that defense. It's coming along nicely, but I think it's going to get better.
Yeah. I had the Carolina Panthers just because of odds. Now, you guys really should, and I'm not promoting, hey, you need to go gamble all your life savings away. No, but you should click in the link and just look at them. Look at them on Monday, the lines, and then look at them again Saturday, because that line movement tells you a lot. If you know nothing about gambling, just looking at that, Vegas, so they want to be in the middle. They don't necessarily want to trick anybody. They want half the people voting this way, half the people going this way, and they're taking the VIC. So seeing how that line moves is a good indication of how strong they feel about the line. So if they're giving 5 points and it goes to 3, then they still think they're the favorites, but not as much. But I bet on the Panthers preseason to make the playoffs because it was positive 14,000, which basically means if you bet $100, you're going to make $1,400, 14 to 1, more or less. But man, you kind of forget that you got those odds because they're not a good team. And they just looked so good that it kind of came down to earth a little bit. That, and I think the Falcons are better than their record shows. And I think those two came in together. And I watched this game kind of flabbergasted. Like, just I didn't know what to think. I didn't really analysis it. I just watched it as a fan, and it was a good game. I wanted to make a couple notes on bye weeks because I've noticed in our show a couple times I have some really good things to say, but then they don't come up. So one of those things is Washington. I think Antonio Gibson looks like great, not just okay. I think he looks great. Like how we said James Robinson looked before he became great. The only problem with that is he's not getting catches. He's strictly a runner.
That's McKissick.
McKissick's getting all the catches. If McKissick wasn't there, he'd be a top 10 running back right now. And I wanted to point out, Kyler Murray is the number 1 quarterback in fantasy.
Killing it.
So not only is he not out of the top 10, he is uno.
I know he's killing me, man. Freaking killing me.
Well, he's got his bye week this week, so
yeah,
average him out a little bit. It might be not top 5.
He'll probably drop to 3rd.
Yeah. I think David Johnson is doing what I thought he would do. I think he's going to be consistent the rest of the season. The issue I have is if you're in a dynasty league, I don't want him next year.
No.
I don't want him at all.
He's a win now piece to help you.
So if you can sell him, try to get equal value or whatever.
Something you can.
Something that's a little bit younger. I would actually take Antonio Gibson straight up for David Johnson. And the thing is, everybody would. I'm a little late on thinking about this because now they're ranked really close together. And it's almost like you got to give them a little bit more just because Antonio Gibson's so young. But I just want to bring that up. I've been trying to give Antonio Gibson love for a couple weeks now, and I haven't been able to translate it into the show, and I just wanted to do it. So game 1, we have Minnesota Vikings at the Packers. Vikings were originally 7.5 points. They moved to 6.5 points. So they still like the Packers, but for some reason they moved it down. I really liked the Vikings at 7.5. 6.5 worries me. I think Thielen should be a good start. I think Jamal Williams should be fine.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think that Vikings defense, Rodgers is going to take full advantage of that. I don't see the game being, I don't know why they moved it to 6.5. I don't even think it's going to be that close.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. That Vikings defense is struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I had them right at 7 points. Right at 7 points. And I'm still in the middle, but now I'm on the other side. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a competitive game because they're in the same division. It's a division game.
Yeah, there's going to be points scored in this one.
The Vikings have a better defense than they've been showing. They played teams that we didn't think were good that ended up being better, like the Bears. So I think the Vikings are better than their credit shows. I think the Packers are on a really good tear. I think the Packers win the game, but I think it's right about that. I wouldn't bet this game, but it's 28-21 Packers.
No, it's 38-30 Packers.
You think 68 points are going to be scored in this game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Packers defense isn't fantastic either.
I got a 35-24 Packers. It's at 59, but I could see it going over that. Yeah, it's definitely over for me.
I think it'd be a high scoring game. Like you said, division games, teams just seem to, they gear up for those division games because they know their opponents.
The Vikings got Cook back, and the Packers are the worst defense against running backs. I think you can play Madison and Cook in this one.
I'm still a little worried about Cook. I don't remember their bye week. But I think if he feels anything or if they go up, I could see him. I believe they have a bye week next week.
I'm pretty sure they do, yeah.
So I could see Cook maybe coming in and then getting pulled.
Yeah.
Depending a scenario.
But even if he gets used, it's still going to be valuable, and I think he'll still score points.
Yeah, it just worries me a little. I think if you drafted him that high, you have to play him, but I would be wary of it.
I don't see him playing him all that much anyway. They might want to favor that groin a little bit. Like I said, have the bye week. Why not? Just favor him a little bit. Put him in maybe 50% of the plays.
It depends on if they really want to win this week.
What?
This could be the end of their season right here.
I think their season's over anyway.
Yeah, but this is their last hope, really.
They're at 1-5. That in their
in the division game,
yeah.
The over/under was 54.5. It moved down to 50. Am I seeing that correct?
It did.
I have it at 49, and you guys are both really high. So I think it's funny that I had it at 49. It moved down to 50. I feel like it's going to be a lower scoring game than you guys think. But like I said, I wouldn't bet this game. No coughing.
That's why
this is a coughing-free environment, Joe.
COVID.
Well,
Tigger. Tennessee Titans at the Cincinnati Bengals. 6.5 went to 7. I think it should go up like that. I don't know why they did it low.
Yeah.
I will say 2 things. Number 1, you tried to call me out last week. I looked it up after the show. There was 8 people on free agency that did better than AJ Green. 8. So, yeah, he did great, but he's still a droppable player. Now, I did see this game. AJ went back to the outside. Not all the time, but he played more on the outside than he did in the slot. So he's got kind of like he's got a different role, but I don't think they entirely know how they want to use him yet. Although seeing him on the outside as much as they did, I would keep AJ Green now. I wouldn't just drop him.
I wouldn't drop him.
Now his scores, his points are still nobody I can start. But if he's playing on the outside, he has potential. So now I can't drop him because now he's got some kind of potential. I still wouldn't start him. I know 2 weeks in a row he was startable.
5-week filler.
5-week filler, maybe.
Which was our argument the whole time.
He's
8 people on free agency did better than AJ Green.
But you're not going to sit there every week and go get a free agent.
I agree.
Right.
But there's people in free agency I could call right now that's going to do better than AJ Green. I can go further than that. I can name Jets players that's going to do better than AJ Green.
Is Crowder playing?
Crowder is probably not going to play. No.
Okay, then name one.
Name one.
Perriman is out.
Involving Crowder.
Crowder's out, most likely. Perriman is out. So the Jets are not going to have a very good passing team.
Oh, that's cute. How you thought they were
Mims,
a passing game in the first place.
Now Mims on the outside isn't good enough to take man coverage. So I'm going all the way to the bottom barrel of free agency, and I would say Braxton Berrios is probably going to be competitive to AJ Green. I could probably go as far as Jeff Smith. I'm just saying they'll be competitive, and they're people that you could get free right now. I still don't like AJ Green. This is the point I'm making. But because he played on the outside, he has potential. Now, the Jets are terrible. They're going to have garbage time, and these guys are going to play. So there's potential. I think it's even potential. I think if you gave me both of those players and AJ Green, I think they'll be within 3 to 5 points.
Yeah, I'd 100% play Green over a Jet.
Right? Any Jet.
That's what I'm saying. Burrow is a must start, I believe, every week.
Oh, he's proven to be a good, reliable quarterback.
Now, it's not because he's killing it, but they're just letting him throw the ball. And he's just the volume, the amount he's throwing, and he's put no touchdowns. They're getting really low amount of touchdowns. He is completely relying on yards, and he's keeping up with the big boys just in yards. If he starts throwing touchdowns, he could very well rival Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's getting rushing yards. He's getting touchdowns. Burrow's just getting yards. And he's competitive. He's a quarterback 1 as of right now. I think he's 12.
Oh, yeah. He's top 12, yeah.
So, I don't know. I will say Giovanni had a game.
He did.
He had a game.
I don't see him having that good of a game this week, but he did have one last week.
What do you think Mixon would get against the Titans? Like, I mean, honestly.
The stats or points?
Just fantasy points.
I think he would get 12 to 15.
That's about what I thought. 12 to 15.
Yeah. Well, because the Titans' defense isn't glorious either. So I mean,
It's not terrible.
It's middle.
It's
about middle of the pack. Yeah.
Yeah, which they should have a better secondary than they have. I think they're just aging out. But yeah, I have Giovanni about there too. 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the same as Mixon. Personally. Yeah, it's 54.5, went down to 51. I have it at 46. 26-20 Titans, which it puts the Bengals in. So I have the Bengals to cover the spread.
Yeah, see, I got Titans 27-20. I don't think the Bengals cover.
No, I got the Titans 31-27. I got the Bengals to cover. I think they'll be able to put up enough offense to keep up but not win this game.
So see, that gives me one win closer to you guys right there.
Yeah, keep stacking them. All right. The New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ugh. Even that line is horrible. They're giving them 20.
They're giving them 20.
20.
Well, I'll say this. The Jets lost the Broncos, led by Ripien, by 9 points. The Chiefs played the Broncos last week with Drew Lock, their number one quarterback. They lost by 27 points.
Yeah, I will say my boy P. Ryan actually got a little bit. He looked really good. He didn't have a lot of carries, but he looked good. He reminds me, seeing him in that one game, it's not really how I thought of him, but in that game, he looked like Edmonds. Really good hands, good blocking, good routes. His running was a little stiff, but he's quick. I just want to see him get more carries. He ripped off some good runs, including that touchdown run. That was a high level touchdown run, toe tip reach. So yeah, I really like P. Ryan. I've been vocal with it. Now maybe he gets more chances. I don't know. The Jets offense was better. I think in general, if you watch that game, they were better than the media portrays them. That game wasn't terrible. Now, statistically, it's easy to say, oh, the Jets had, Sam Darnold threw for 104 yards in the first 5 minutes and then threw for 16 yards the rest of the game. I get that narrative. But if you watch the game, there's a lot of things involved. There are people who were dropping passes. These are nobody receivers. I just made an argument a little bit ago about.
Which is why they're dropping passes.
Right, but I think it could have very well been a closer game. The offensive line was terrible. And they were playing against the Bills secondary, which is really good secondary. I think they could have won that game. Jets covered last week against the Bills.
Yeah, they did. That was a lot closer than I thought it was.
So I didn't expect to actually win that because I didn't take the Jets to cover. But when the line moved, I stuck with what I wrote down, and they covered. It put me into that. Honestly, as a Jets fan, watching this team, I can see the Jets winning a couple games this year. You know why? Because then they'll miss out on Trevor. That's a Jet thing to do. And then watch, someone like the Cowboys will just have the number one overall pick and get Trevor. And then, look, all our problems are solved. And we suck for longer. I actually don't want Trevor, but I want that number one pick. I want to trade that for a king's ransom. But I don't know. I believe in Sam. I think Le'Veon Bell is the best fantasy running back in this game. I think Mecole Hardman gets a long one. The only hesitation I have is Sammy Watkins being out. This is the game everyone's been waiting for. They're looking for Mecole Hardman to have that game. He's that deep threat guy. He hasn't seen it this year. The Jets secondary is terrible. But with Sammy Watkins out, he usually takes his role. And then it goes to Robinson. Demarcus Robinson usually doesn't do anything except for when Watkins is out and Mecole takes Watkins's role. I don't think Mecole Hardman does a better job doing what Watkins does. So I'm kind of torn. I was really confident in this. I really didn't think Watkins was going to miss. I don't know why. Just in my head, I was like, he's fine. But
Them hammies.
so I say that with a little bit of grain of salt because I could very easily see Mecole Hardman having 0 points. They use him as a Watkins, and he's just kind of that guy to open up other people and doesn't really do anything. But if you want a Hail Mary throw, DFS, it's DeMarcus Robinson to get that long shot. But one of these two guys will get a long shot against the Jets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is one of those games where the Chiefs are just going to make the Jets their bitches.
Yeah, play
Plain
that
and simple.
offense.
Yeah, well, Mekhi Becton is back. And I can never remember any point in time enjoying watching offensive linemen. And I'll probably put one up because this guy's amazing. Yeah. I mean, hands down, the best left tackle I've ever seen play the game. And he's a rookie. I feel bad for the kid because it instantly reminds me of the Browns when their left tackle,
Joe Thomas.
Dude, because that's what it is. The Jets aren't going to be good at any time, but this guy's a monster. He literally doesn't even try. And he's taking these people, just throw them to the ground, go to the next guy. I can't remember the name. He
won't be a Jet forever, though.
It was a Pro Bowler that came in and he didn't even try. Like he just backhanded the guy and the guy did like a cartwheel. Like he just threw him. Mekhi Becton is the real deal. It's very impressive. Yeah, I think if you had to pick one, I'd pick Berrios. I like Jeff Smith more though. But Berrios is set up. This game is going to be terrible. I think the Jets can cover again. I do. I say 28-13. So it's not a real confident cover.
They got to score more than 28.
I don't think they do. Because I don't think they have to.
It's delusional.
Well, they didn't have to last week either.
No, but they had a point to prove. They don't have a point to prove here, other than, hey, Le'Veon, go mess up your team. They do that.
How many touchdowns do you think Le'Veon gets? Does he get 2, 3?
I don't know. I don't know.
He has 1 because they're still going to run Clyde.
I think.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I mean Clyde's still going to get his. So I just see. I can see like a first and goal on the 3, hand it to Bell, let him get in the end zone. He can rub in their face a little bit, have a little fun.
Bell does better than Clyde in this game.
You really believe so?
Fantasy-wise.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think he should. Bell should.
I think he will.
I think he'll get the touchdown.
He got more carries than him last week.
Yeah, but Edwards was more productive.
He was only on for like 3 days. I think more or less it was just to get him acclimated and, kind of run the system. They kind of want to see if he knew it. Bell is a guy that's really overconfident. Oh yeah, I know the playbook. And I think Andy Reid is a guy that's going to test you. But Andy Reid's also a guy that lets people get revenge. Historically speaking, he lets players get revenge against their teams. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people like playing for him. So I can see him just giving Le'Veon Bell a ridiculous amount of a workload. Maybe he doesn't run at all and he gets all the catches. I don't know. But they're going to try to use him in his best possible way to shove it in the face of the Jets. That's what I see. I think the Jets are going to be angry, the players in general, and play really hard.
Well, they should be angry.
I agree.
They have to go to that practice field and put that green and white crap on their body and say, I play for the Jets. Yay me.
I play football too.
So I don't know.
Look, Mom, on TV. The Jets are a blooper reel.
The over-under is only 49 in this game. So I have it at still under, but maybe they don't cover. I'm so far ahead of you guys that I can take shots like this. It is what it is.
I don't even think I just go.
Yeah.
But I got the Chiefs 38-17. I'll take them to cover.
I believe the Chiefs cover as well. 41-20.
Okay, and that's why you're both behind. Moving on. Colts, Lions. Lions are getting 3. They didn't move. They stayed strong at 3. Over-under's 50. It moved half a point down, which means a lot, actually. So if you guys look at lines or gamble, there's certain numbers that weigh more than other numbers. For example, if the line is 5 and it goes down to 3, it kind of means nothing. Means nothing. But if it's 3 and goes to 2.5, huge. It's huge. Because there's certain scores that happen in football with field goals and 7s and 3s and 6s. So 50 is a number. 50, 51, and 54. Those are the 3 most normal numbers. So it going to 49.5 actually means quite a bit. I think both these teams are better than their record shows. The Lions just can't finish games. They showed that they could when, Todd Gurley decided that he was going to accidentally give his fantasy players some love. Because the whole time he's falling down, he could have did it. And you could see the look on his face. He was like...
He probably just got the touchdown. He was like, hey.
he was like, I don't want... It was on purpose. I don't think he had faith in the Lions to come back and win it anyway, but they did. I think the potential is there for the Lions. I just like the Colts. They just need a wide receiver. And trade deadline's coming.
Yeah.
And there's all these names getting thrown around, and something nobody's talking about, and it's a perfect fit, is John Ross. The Bengals hate him. The guy wants to play. He's young. He's super fast. He's exactly like T.Y. Hilton.
I would say we know he's a good enough receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown
he's
it.
Fast.
He's fast. He's got good hands. He can't run a route. I understand that. They need help. They could get him for free.
Yeah.
He is last on the depth chart. They tried to put him down to practice squad. The Bengals might just cut him.
He requested a trade.
So if I were the Colts, I would be like, hey, you want a 7th round pick? If we keep him after this year, we'll bump it up to a 6, something like that. I think it's a cheap, and I think he's got potential. The Colts need weapons. If they don't want to trade for somebody, then that's a shame because I think they have a good team.
I think if they want to win, they need to get someone other than Ross.
They just need.
I don't
bodies.
think Ross is enough for him to go out there and win.
Honestly, they should be really aggressive. Like Juju.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
AJ Green.
I'd be more comfortable with that than Ross.
Well, the Bengals are a young team. They're trying to grow. AJ Green's older. I could see them moving on from AJ Green and then the Colts buying AJ Green to just get that push because they're a really good team. They just have no offensive weapons.
Maybe they go with the Texans.
Yeah, they seem to be giving away wide receivers left and right. See, I don't like the way the Colts have been playing. That's why I don't trust them in this game. But at Lions seem to be getting better. Swift to me he's looking amazing.
He's looking better.
You can tell he's going to be the guy now. But
I don't think he'll ever.
I don't like the Colts in this game.
Guy.
Maybe not the Lions. That's just how they operate. It seems like.
Yeah.
They do kind of dispose of. Ever since Barry Sanders, they haven't had the guy for a while. But I just like the way the Lions are going.
I loved Schlesinger. He was a fullback, but I think the Colts are a better team. I think the Lions have a better offense. This is going to be a good game to watch. I wouldn't bet it, but I have it right there. And if I got to pick one over the other, I'm going to pick the Colts just because I trust them more. 24-20, Colts win.
Yeah, I like that Colts defense. I have them 28-24.
See, I got Lions are going to be the underdog. 31-27. Lions win this one outright. I like them. I got faith in them.
I do think this is going to be Hilton's week.
Yeah.
If he has 1 week, I think this is going to be
his
week.
1 week.
Just because he's going up against a rookie. He's had opportunity. He's dropped it, obviously, but I think this will be his week.
Yeah, that rookie has not looked too bad, though.
No,
he's looked pretty good. I don't see T.Y. Hilton doing anything the rest of the season.
I like him.
I can't complain about anything you guys said. I just don't trust the Lions enough anymore. I think their potential's through the roof.
Oh, it does scare me that because they seem to blow those freaking leads a couple of times this year. But like you guys said, they had trouble finishing games. Last few of them, they've looked pretty good. And I think hopefully they got them on the right course.
Yeah, I think the Colts defense is elite. I mean, they're the first in the league in defensive passing.
Oh yeah, they're and third in rushing. I mean, their defense is
defense.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a fluke. I think they're the real deal. But I think the Lions, they have good individualist matchups, and the Colts like to play man. I think Kenny can beat man coverage.
Yeah, Kenny can beat it.
I think the Lions can move the ball. I think Stafford's a good enough quarterback, and Galladay's a good enough wide receiver that they should find success. I'm not going to say he's going to have a great game, but they should be able to move the ball.
Between Galladay, Hawkinson, and the way Switzman come along, I mean, they're getting there. Yeah,
so
I like them.
Yeah, in my head, I just don't know which one. The Lions against an elite defense or the crappy Colts offense against the average defense. Like I don't really know.
I'm thinking the Colts offense.
Yeah, the funny thing is the Lions defense is ranked much higher than their offense, which I really didn't expect. But
yeah.
All right, Steelers Ravens.
It's gonna be a great game.
How are the Steelers not favored?
That's a good
because
question.
they're playing in Baltimore.
I don't care. The undefeated Steelers against the Ravens.
Ravens are only 5-1.
They'll be 5-2 after this.
They didn't look that great at 5-1 though. Not to me.
And the crazy thing is the line moved further in the direction of the Steelers.
Yeah.
So Steelers are getting 4 points. No. This is my underdog pick. You can pick the Lions as your underdog pick. This is my underdog pick. Steelers will just win this game outright. And I would bet this. Forget the line, forget the points, straight up Steelers win.
Yeah, I agree. 28-24.
I have it 27-24.
I got the Ravens 31-27. I'm going with the favorite in this one.
And not much else to say about it. This is going to be a good game to watch. I just don't think
it's going to be such a huge defensive battle because both these defenses are good.
Yeah.
Well, what do the Ravens do? What do? They run the ball.
Run the ball.
No. The Ravens don't run nothing. Jackson runs the ball.
Offensive rushing, they're third. They run the ball. Offensive passing, they're last. They're worse than the Jets.
Yeah.
Now, what do the Steelers do the best? Stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Ravens get down in this game, how are they going to catch up? Are they going to throw?
I don't know if Lamar knows how to.
No, this is
he doesn't. Not in the pocket.
I can't see the Ravens winning this game. I'm actually angry at Vegas.
And that's the thing. That's where I was on the fence because
you want to go even.
I feel like I'm missing something.
You want to go even? Totally agree. I mean, I wouldn't. You can't have the Steelers be 4-point underdogs in this game. They don't match up in any way. The only reason this line is the way it is because everybody is crazy people and they're just betting on their boy Jackson. So Vegas naturally just had to move a line to be in the middle. I think there's just way too much love for the Ravens.
Maybe.
I think this is silly. I hope the Ravens win by a lot. I don't think they will, but I really want them to because everybody who's a Ravens fan is way too far out there.
And really, that's all the Steelers have to do. Stop Jackson.
Yeah,
they're not let Jackson run, and they can win this game. Yeah,
they're not a bad team. It's just they're perfect scenario is Claypool. I love Claypool. You guys know this. I said this really early, and now everybody's like Claypool. And I'm the guy that originally liked him. And now I feel myself always telling people, let's settle down. And that's the perception. Everybody's so emotional. They're either way over here or way over there. I think the Ravens are a good team, but they're not 4 points better than the Steelers. Maybe I'm just not seeing something. Rams, Dolphins. Dolphins are getting 3.5. The Dolphins are getting less points than the Steelers against the Rams.
Starting a rookie.
starting a rookie. See,
the Tua era begins.
I think Gaskin's the only safe option. Really, if you're just trying to be safe, he's the only safe option.
Yeah.
Gaskin's a great running back and would be highly touted if Howard wasn't there. Howard takes all the goal line carries.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, Gaskin gets down the field and then Howard just gets a touchdown. It's kind of crap.
It's kind of demoralizing if you're a running back. Like, I do all the work, he's getting the glory. That kind of pissed me off.
You got to be a team player, Joe.
Yeah, team players are great, but there you become the workhorse, then all of a sudden this old man comes in here and gets your glory for you.
Is he that old?
I don't think he's that old.
I don't think he's
like
that old. Well, compared to
27. I
Gaskin,
mean,
he's a couple years older than Gaskin, but
right
he's
back
probably
to
not that
alcohol.
old.
I like Gesicki. I think he'll have rapport with Tua. They played on the scout team together.
I'm split here. If I had to gun to my head, I had to pick, I would say Tua is better than Fitzpatrick. And I have
in this game,
I have in general, like, yeah, this game.
See, and that's just it. We really don't know. There was no preseason.
We don't
Tua
know.
came in for two passes.
We don't know, and I have no data to back this up.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because they're playing well.
yeah.
And to make this move, you can't go back.
Oh no,
Right.
You know,
No.
so you ruined Fitzpatrick, and he's upset, and I feel bad for him because he is playing well. This is his team.
Mhm.
But obviously they're seeing something for them to make this
Exactly.
move. Something,
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're seeing
they saw something that we
something-
can't. But
Yeah.
They're seeing something in practice that they're confident enough, because the way this was done, executed, it looks like this was the plan.
Yeah, going into the bye. It did
Going
kinda
into the
seem
bye,
like that,
they
yeah.
announced it immediately after the game. I don't know, man. I think there's a good chance Tua is better, and if Tua's better, then the Dolphins are a playoff team.
I don't see it happening that quickly. I like Tua. I think he'll be good. But that's quick.
I think they were really close before.
But I
So
mean,
if Tua is going to be a better quarterback and he's got some legs to run around on, I can see him being a playoff team.
and it's not like Tua's coming into a situation like Darnold has. I mean, there are some pretty good receivers on that team. So Tua's coming into a decent situation.
Yeah.
Now, for that narrative to work, that's an argument saying that the Patriots are starting to fall on their face, and it'd be the Bills and the Dolphins both being.
Well, we kind of see that anyway. Yeah.
It's kind of looking
So,
that way.
I could see the Dolphins making the playoffs.
I don't know. We'll see this week.
We'll see. I have it 28-20 Rams. I think the Rams should be able to put this game away. I worry about Tua's first start against the Rams, but I wouldn't bet it because I could totally see. And I think if Tua is better than Fitzpatrick, then they could win this game.
Yeah, I mean, they could. The Rams kind of need to win this game.
Yeah,
Because I made the comment before, whoever lost that Niners-Rams game could be out of the playoffs just because the way that division's shaping up.
Yeah.
So I think the Rams, to keep their hopes alive, got to win this game. I had the Dolphins covering the 4 points, the 27-23, Rams winning. Now the line's been moved to 3.5. But Rams are going to sneak it out, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I got the Rams 28-17. I think the Rams are just too much of a complete team, and they're starting to play better. I think they just beat the Dolphins.
The Rams need to get Woods a little more involved, though. It just seems like Woods hasn't been really involved the last few weeks.
Yeah, this game particularly matches up for Cup. I had the Cup over Woods this game.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to get Woods more involved. It's just...
Yeah, I think fantasy point-wise, like the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been under 10 for Woods.
And I can't...
Which is rough.
And I could be completely wrong on this. But from what little bit I've actually studied on the defense for the offense for the Rams, is they like to run 4 routes, and they have a guy, usually the tight end or the wide receiver, on each side. That's why they like to run double tight ends. Kind of don't do that anymore because
Higbee was out, so it kind of forced them to put Josh Reynolds on the field.
But ideally, what they do is they have 4 options. They have a man beater and a zone beater. They have a guy and then the guy to get him open. So they really only have 2 routes on opposite sides. So the quarterback drops back. He's got 2 reads. He does a pre-snap. I think it's zone. Looks at his zone target first. If he's not covered, he's got either running back. Blanking on his name right now. The running back will sneak out and he has a jump off, or he throws it away, or he can the man beater if he was wrong on his coverage. It's kind of a simple offense to execute, but that's kind of what they were going for, at least early in the season. It wasn't super successful. So I don't know if they went off of that now because of the injury, but the reason I say Cup over Woods is mainly just matchups against corners.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean.
Yeah, we kind of agree with you on that one. Yeah.
All right. Patriots Bills 4.5 moved up from 4. Patriots are the underdogs and they should be.
Yeah. They're just looking awful.
Is this the lowest scoring game of the week? Or it's close to it?
I think it's close to it. Well, it did move down to 40.5.
Yeah.
43 to 40.5. Yeah. I think we were too high on the Bills. I think the Bills came out super strong. They came back down to earth. I think they're a good team. I think they're a little bit better than the Dolphins. That's actually where I think they should be. I think the Dolphins, their 3 wins probably could be 4 if 2 would have been is better. And I think the Bills maybe should be down to 4. I have them right there. No. I have the Bills just a little bit better as a team.
I mean, the Bills have struggled the last few weeks, but they're still the best team in that division.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I think it's that close.
What was it? 2 weeks ago the Bills played 3 weeks ago the Bills played the Rams. They did beat them, but they shouldn't have won that game. I think if Miami can beat this game or beat the Rams, I think we got to put them ahead of the Bills, especially with Tua.
Yeah, that's a good point. It depends on how they win. Well, it doesn't even matter if they win.
I think we need to see what Tua can do, though.
Yeah.
We just need to
give him a couple weeks and we'll see what it is. But
the biggest problem with the Patriots is
Cam Newton.
Well, I've
been saying it all season. Cam is not a good quarterback.
He's getting our receivers injured because he's making bad throws and decisions.
I don't think Cam is I think they can use Cam and win and go to the playoffs.
I think this is the bottom of what
the problem is. The Patriots lost talent. They're older. They're in the middle of a rebuild. And I don't think they can afford to lose people. Like they used to be able to just lose a guy, next guy up's just as good. I think now it's showing where these injuries, they actually hurt them.
Yeah.
Well, because Cam is not Tom Brady. Tom Brady was able to take those receivers and make them relevant. Cam does not have that kind of ability. He never had.
It's a completely different offense. It's a completely different offense with a different threat. Now, the biggest issue with Cam is he throws the ball too hard. Not only does it make it hard for the receivers to catch it, but the timing, that's the only way he can get the timing down. So,
he's missing guys by 8 yards, underthrowing them, or he's overthrowing them by 8 yards.
Because he's got to throw it 80 miles an hour.
Because his accuracy blows. Cam is not a good quarterback, period. You tell me he had better receivers in Carolina. Okay.
I did notice
the playoffs when the division was garbage.
I did notice last week that Cam, it kind of looked like he was only really looking at one side of the field when he would snap the ball. He'd only read one side. That's all he'd go. If there's nothing there, then he'd run and it'd be like a yard or he'd get a sack. Yeah. That's what it looked like. So I'm kind of worried with Cam right now because it doesn't seem like he's fully.
Preseason, I didn't like Cam. I said, I got to see it, though. They came out. He played okay. He played pretty good. So I was like, okay, they could do it with Cam. And then they started losing some of these players. And now you can't have.
Especially this week.
Yeah. I mean, with all the injuries they have, this is not going to be a good game.
No.
And the Bills, everybody in the division wants to beat up on the Patriots. So that's why I have the Bills to cover the 4.5, because they're going to want to. They're going to want to run up the score. Everybody hates the Patriots.
Yeah, they're gonna beat the Patriots. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have it 24-16 Bills.
Yeah, I got the Bills winning 35-20. They win by 2 scores.
Yeah, I have the Bills 24-21. I had them to cover. I noticed the injuries after I did it. But it's a division game. I think they'll try to keep it close.
Raiders Browns. Raiders getting 2.5. Line was 54, went down to 49.5. Now, the biggest reason for this, I believe, is because of the weather. So they're having like they're projecting 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And I think at first I didn't really care. But it doesn't seem like a lot. 54 to 49.5. That goes past 3 major lines. 54 is a major line, 51 is a major line, and 50 is a major line. It dropped all the way to 49.5. That's massive in Vegas. So they're projecting these wins to be serious.
I didn't know they were that bad.
So I would say
I believe is going to just benefit Hunt.
Yeah,
because
Jacobs.
This is going to keep the ball. It's going to benefit it's going to benefit the Browns, and I say that because
that's their play styles: play action, run the ball, or just
yeah. So when they make throws, Baker Mayfield throws a fastball. He can cut through that wind a lot better than Carr.
Oh yeah,
Carr throws kind of finesse balls, which is fine, but the wind can alter those balls a lot more. Not to mention the biggest thing the Raiders have is that deep threat weapon. And I don't think they can threaten it. They're going to have to take a couple shots at Ruggs, but if they take a shot and that ball moves, it might be a pick.
I think the only way they could do that there is when they got the wind at their back.
Yeah, something, or if it dies down on that play, say, okay, hey, take a shot.
Right.
So I like Waller and Aguilar because they're more of like the shorter options. I think
Aguilar's been playing pretty good.
Yeah. I think Ruggs, he's going to be limited in this game because the biggest thing he does isn't possible. It's really weird to do weather games.
Unless he can take a slant to the house.
I think Hunt will be okay, but I don't know because the Raiders have a good front. They're not great at stopping the run, I guess, but I don't know. I think if I had to pick a guy for the Browns, obviously it's going to be what's his name? Landry. I got blanked on his name.
Yeah, Landry.
Landry is probably the biggest beneficiary to a high wind game. Now, if it comes out right before the game, there's no weather, then I'm throwing in Higgins, I'm throwing in Ruggs, and I like the Raiders to win this game. If you prevent them to go deep, I originally put the Raiders to be another underdog game to win outright. I think if it's really bad weather and they can't throw it deep, I think the Browns win this game.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what Gruden does is threaten. Now, he's a smart offensive coordinator. Maybe he designed something really intelligent way over my head, and they're fine. But I think everything just points at the Browns can win. So if I had to guess, I'm going to change the line. I'm going to say it's 20-21 Browns just because it sets up for them, which makes the Raiders cover. I still take the Raiders with the 2.5 points. I'm not as confident in the Raiders to win a game that's windy.
Well, I mean, I wasn't high on the Raiders anyway because it's hard to make out what they are. And I don't think they're quite playoff competitive yet. So I got the Browns 24-21 over the Raiders.
Yeah, I got the Raiders 27-24. I thought they were going to win before. Looking at it now with all the win, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to have them win. It'll probably be lower scoring one, but I still think the Raiders win.
As an underdog?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can't complain. That's what I had. The weather scares me. I didn't think about anything at first. But everywhere I go and I look at it, it's just all about the weather and how bad it's going to be. So we'll see. Chargers, Broncos. Broncos are only getting 3.5. It's up from 3, but it's 3.5. The line actually went up as well. So they took that half a point and they put it on the Broncos and the over-under. I don't know. I think both of these teams are better than their record. The Chargers have less injuries, so I kind of lean the Chargers. I think they're both pretty good teams. All things considered, they both had a lot of adversity. I think the Chargers have a higher ceiling this season, but I think they're both about the same type of team.
I don't know. I mean, the Broncos, they've got a top 10 defense going on there. And I think now Locke, he seems to be connecting pretty good. I like that kid, Tim Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
I like him there. I can see the Broncos pulling this game out. That defense is going to make it a little bit tough this week on Herbert.
Okay.
Melvin Gordon, I mean, he should have a good game. This is a revenge game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Philip Lindsay's coming back from the concussion. He might be a little limited, but I mean, he's still going to get his. But I see Gordon having a good game this week.
I'll teach them to give up on him.
Yeah. So I have it 28-21 Chargers to cover by more than 3.
Yeah. 24-20 Chargers. I'll take them.
I got 24-20, but I got the Broncos over the Chargers.
All right, cut for a second.
All right.
You're starting to do what he was doing last week and talking like this. You can't oversend your mic because then you sound like shit.
Okay.
And then I got to spend fucking 4 hours trying to make you sound normalized. So just make sure you're always in front of it.
Yeah, I have trouble with it still.
I'm also trying to see
I also want to check the camera because usually it dinks. And I haven't heard it dink.
It already dinked once.
Oh, you did hear it at least once? Yeah, I never heard it either. I wasn't even paying attention.
So it's recording. So I just want to make sure it was recording because that's going to blow if we have no video.
Should be.
That would have sucked. All audio. You're just showing up images, the whole thing.
I would just do like a standard microphone, like radio show. It's just static. Some people do that, especially the WFAN out of New York. Saints, Bears. Bears are getting 4.5, up from 4. And the over-under went down 2 points to 42.5. That's kind of odd that they increase one line but decrease another line. The reason I say it's odd because they contradict. Vegas has like a projection. So usually if it goes up, then this goes up to the exact same amount. So it's kind of weird to see the Bears get a half a point, but the over-under goes down 2 points. I just want to make a note on that. I think maybe I was wrong about the Saints. I've been pretty hard on the Saints. They played a very good game last week.
Mm-hmm.
A very tough game. So, same thing with the Bears. I kind of haven't been a believer in the Bears all season.
I started out high. I'm getting lower and lower on them.
I started out really low, and I'm getting higher and higher on them. So maybe we met in the middle. But the Saints shouldn't be 4-2 with the amount of adversity that they had to overcome. I can't believe they're that high. And the Bears shouldn't be 5-2. As bad of a team as they are, they shouldn't be that high.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the Saints actually in my head being better than 4-2, and the Bears being worse than 5-2. I think Graham has a good game. I think Mooney could be a flex play. I think this might be a low scoring game. It's kind
of looking. The Saints are hurting a receiver because Marquez Callaway, he had a game last week, but he's out this week. Emmanuel Sanders is still out, and Michael Thomas is still out. So
yeah, I want to know what's going on with Michael Thomas there.
Yeah,
he is trying to find a way to get out. He's hitting people in the locker room. He got himself suspended from the team for a little bit.
Then he pulled a hamstring.
Yeah, he pulled a hamstring.
I heard it's pretty bad.
I did too.
But why does he want out of New Orleans? What is going on in there?
I don't think he wants to get out of New Orleans. I think he's he got hurt. He wanted to come back. They wouldn't let him come back. He got frustrated. He hit somebody. So then they were like, oh, you're missing this game now. And then they had a bye week. And then he was training, and I think he tweaked his hamstring. And now he was like, well, now you're not playing. And I think he's just being an asshole. And I think it reminds me of Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. I think you're starting to butt heads to alpha males. And I think Peyton is just trying to put Michael Thomas in his place. You're not going to tell me what is going to happen. So I don't think he necessarily wants out. I think he just wants to play.
Well, now he's really going to be angry because I guess that suspension that the Saints gave him, no one voids on a lot of his bonus money.
Oh, they voided his bonus money?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Because if you they had a clause in there. If he got suspended, he didn't get certain bonus money.
I thought they waived it.
So no, I think they might have waived it. I don't know. All I know is I see a guy who they have things like this in their contract, who we're seeing a little bit of this come out from an organization that's really tight-lipped, which means all indications show Michael Thomas might be a crazy person.
He's good at football, though.
He's a receiver. Which one isn't?
Right. Well,
it seems like the better they are, the more of a drama queen they become.
What I'm saying is we can see things like Odell throw a helmet, right? But we don't see anything happen or come out of Michael Thomas. So everybody's like, oh, he's fine. Well, maybe they've just been covering up for him for a while because there are those speculations in contracts for players that are high risk. And for them to put that in there is an indication that he's a high risk player. So I don't know what's going on, to be completely honest. I am a little bit worried about him as a fantasy owner. I think he's still good, but I don't want him this year. Even if he comes back, I don't want to play him.
I think he'll be solid when he comes back.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, whether it's with the Saints or with somebody else, once he's fully healthy, he's gonna be dynamo. But
I mean, you're gonna have Breeze getting a lot of rapport with a lot of wide receivers, and the time that he's gone, and then just give him the volume he was getting. I don't know. I think he'll be okay, but I don't think he'll be nearly as productive as he was on a per game basis from last season.
And what was that?
Elite. I think he was number one last year.
Elite.
I think he was number one last year.
I can think he can be top 12 basis. Coming back.
I could see him being a wide receiver one. Just not as. That's like saying McCaffrey's going to come back and be a. Yeah, I can see him being a potential. One. But the difference between 1 and 2 was huge.
Yeah, the weeks that he comes back, if he has the potential to be the one.
Michael Thomas was the number one receiver, well, fantasy-wise. Chris Godwin was 2. It was 100 points difference between first and second.
That's what I'm saying. He's not that guy. That's all. That's what I'm saying. He's not that guy. He's going to come back. He'll be a good starter for you. But that's the guy we wanted.
He still has that potential, though.
I don't think he does.
I think he does.
I don't think he does. And mainly because, like I said, his rapport, you're asking for him to get the volume and all this stuff all over.
It's kind of hard not to get the volume when everybody's injured.
He's been missing this whole time. Yeah. Drew Brees has gotten all this rapport from everybody else.
And they're gone.
I'm just saying, Kamara's there.
Oh, you got Cook and you got Kamara, which you already have rapport with.
Kamara and
I think
Traquan Sanders are.
Even though he wasn't playing with Thomas,
Smith looks like he's going to get a big week.
Yeah, even without playing with Thomas, I still think he gets the volume because he played with them these years. He can play.
I don't know. Maybe I think he's a wide receiver.
Put me in, coach. He can play. Just with who? Is he going to play with New Orleans, or
I don't.
Maybe is he shipped out?
I don't see him going anywhere. If he gets
shipped out, he definitely lowers, but I still.
It depends on where he goes.
If honestly, he causes too much trouble in that locker room, I could see Sean Payton wanting him out. He's not going to want all that going on.
If he goes to the Colts, if he goes to the Jets, if he goes to the Packers,
if the Breeze retires,
I don't see him going to the Packers. They're not going to send him to that division in conference. They're going to send him out of conference.
I don't see him going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I was just saying there are situations.
Breeze could be retiring. They might say, okay, time to rebuild. Let's get a high draft pick out of Thomas. We'll trade him to somebody.
Yeah, we got Jameis Winston. If you keep him, I like Thomas more.
Nobody likes Winston, though.
No, but he's good for fantasy. He's great for fantasy.
There's a lot of places he would fit. Players like that can fit just about anywhere. Texans, hell, the Niners. He would fit that system. It's a big-bodied, strong, tall, good route runner. I mean, he can fit pretty much anywhere. It's just we want him at a place where he's going to get the volume. So I don't know. I don't see him going anywhere.
Well, if you're a fantasy guy, yeah, you want the volume out of him. But
yeah, I think if I'm a fantasy holder, I'm hoping he comes back. I'm hoping he has a big game, and I'm hoping I can sell him at his old valuation, which is this is the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, if you can't sell him now for it.
Yeah, even if he comes back, you probably couldn't, just because of the bias and people, the recency. Yeah, like, yeah, he missed. You know, he's not the one.
All right.
Yeah.
I would try for it. If you could get being the alpha male wide receiver in the league, if he comes back and throws up 30 fantasy points,
then
I would
he
try.
He is the alpha in the league.
I don't believe so. Now, if that happens, then maybe we'll be someone will be going on the board. But I can't see him being an alpha male, at least this season. I have it really close. I think it's a low-scoring game. I predicted it to be a low-scoring game before we had the numbers on here. I have it at 41. So I have it 21-20, which makes the Bears cover. I think the Saints win this game. I think the Bears are the underdogs. I think the Saints win, but the Bears keep it close.
Yeah, I have the Saints 27-24. I have the Bears covering. I moved it a little bit because I noticed the injuries on the Saints, so I had the Bears cover.
Yeah, I think the Bears cover as well. I got the Saints winning at 28-27.
Yeah, I think the Bears could win this game, but I think the Saints are just too well coached that they won't let that happen. Niners Seahawks. 49ers are the underdogs with 3 points.
This is gonna be another good game this week.
They have this at 53.5, down just half a point.
Oh, it's gonna be more than that.
One of the highest point rated games of the week. I really like Ayuk this week. I think he's gonna have a good game against the Seahawks. I think McKinnon does good. Any 49er running back is going to do good. I've been saying the whole season.
Yeah. Coleman's come back. I don't expect him to have a huge role, but McKinnon, they limited him last week, but it was weird because they wanted to limit him, but yet they still played him in garbage time. And that's the only time they really played him.
It's not that they're limiting him. They're keeping McKinnon in his role. So just because the other guy is getting hurt, his role's staying exactly the same. So they're just kind of move this guy up and this guy up. So McKinnon's still being that second running back that they want to use in certain situations. DJ Dallas is going to get his shot here. The biggest problem with DJ Dallas, and the reason why I like McKinnon, is DJ Dallas can't block at all. He's so bad at it that they don't even have him do it. He doesn't even get the opportunity because he's one of the worst blocking running backs I've ever seen. It's almost like he just quits.
He is bad.
So So you can start him because he'll get a shot to run the ball.
As long as everybody's out. If Hyde plays, it's hard to play him.
Yeah, depending injuries.
Even Homer. He might split a little bit more with him, but that's still...
I just don't like Homer.
No, but the Seahawks do.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just saying I think McKinnon gets more volume than he did last week because of that. DJ Dallas can't block. So McKinnon's already kind of a third down like gadget player. I think maybe he's on the field more often. I don't know if that directly translates to more touches.
I think Hasty will get more of the touches and McKinnon will get more of the targets.
So
or Coleman.
In this conversation, we've named 5 running backs. And that's the exact issue with starting any of these people. They just the way the Seahawks run the ball, they just get hurt. They just get hurt because they.
You play the guy that's in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think McKinnon's probably the best one until you get one of your cores back like Carson. Until you get, McKinnon's the only one I would play with, but
I like Hasty.
I think I
would take a shot on him.
I think Ayuk is going to start showing up more and more often, and by the end of the season, he's going to be a solid wide receiver too, consistently. I think he's come on really good. I don't know. I don't really like this game. I think it's going to be a good game to watch. I wouldn't bet it. I don't know how to predict it. I think the Niners are good. I've been saying that, but then every time I do, they have a bad game. And then that's like, I think the Seahawks are like really good offense and then the bad defense. And then I don't know. I can't, they don't fit in any box that I have created for my information. These guys are rogue. They're just, and I don't know how to assess them yet. I'm working on it, but I want to pick the Niners here. I really, really do.
I'm the same way,
but I can't,
dude. I'm with you guys. I'm on the fence.
I have
the Cardinals kind of exposed the Seahawks last week, and it's like, okay, now
I don't think that was a one-time thing.
I don't think so either. I mean, Wilson doesn't go out and throw 3 interceptions in a game either.
Oh, yeah.
But
the biggest issue, the biggest issue between that and this one is Kyler Murray's good and Garoppolo's not.
Right.
That's why I have the Seahawks winning this game, but I'm going to do it by 1 point, 28-27. I'm going to say the Niners cover out of respect.
Yeah. I have it 31-28 Seahawks win, but I have the Niners covering.
I got the Seahawks 38-35, but I got the Niners covering. We're all covering our ass on that one.
Yeah. The Cowboys against the Eagles.
Sunday night prime time, too. Ugh.
One of the lower scoring, 43 is the over-under. The Cowboys are originally at 11, moved up to 11.5. Vegas thinks the Cowboys are going to just get destroyed in this game.
And I don't think Vegas is wrong on this one. I really don't. The Cowboys are they're an embarrassment. Their defense is an embarrassment right now.
And you're down to your third quarterback.
And we're down to Danucci, a 7th-round rookie. Woo-hoo, this is going to be so exciting to see on prime time.
I don't think you can play Cooper in this one.
I don't think you can either.
Yeah.
I don't think you can play anyone in this one. I wouldn't even want to play Zeke.
I wouldn't want to, but you have to play him. He still should be at RB2.
Play Zeke,
if you have Zeke,
it's tough to do it.
If you have Zeke on your team, then most likely you don't have any other options. But I don't even know. Zeke is like a bottom running back too. Because not only do the offensive line get crapped on, they're all hurt. Right, which was one of the big bonuses for him. He's got this easy run. Not only that, their quarterback is out, so now they have no threat passing.
No, their first 2 quarterbacks are out.
So now they're crowding the box, and he has a bad line, and it's just him
He's realizing to his floor.
It's him realizing how good he had it because he could easily be on the Jets, and that's all he would have been. This is all he would have been. This has been a good game matchup. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to fumble 7 times, but he's not Zeke. He's not the guy we know.
He doesn't look like it.
He's a startable guy because you have to.
And everybody knows, it's the Cowboys. Here they got the 3rd-string quarterback in, a bad offensive line. They know. Just rush Zeke. Just stop Zeke.
Yeah.
And you stop the game.
Yeah, I hinted this earlier, but I think the Cowboys could maybe get Trevor this year. I think they're going to be ranked 31st. Next week, we do a reiteration of our power rankings.
The Cowboys ain't going to go after Trevor Lawrence because Uncle Jerry there still believes that Dak's going to be his guy.
Well, even if he does get Dak, you have that number 1 pick. You trade it. You now can go get a defense, and then you still have your offense.
I stand by this. No player on their defense is terrible. They have good personnel. It's the design and the coach of their defense that is terrible. They could use a better safety. They could use an upgrade, maybe at corner.
Yeah.
But maybe linebacker could get
linebackers.
younger.
You got Vander Esch.
But Van Der Esch was always hurt, either a neck or a shoulder.
But before him was Sean
Lee, same situation, always injured.
So, I mean, maybe they just need depth, but I think the personnel's fine. I think the defensive coordinator's terrible. I think the Cowboys, I think everything just falls apart, and this is the game because it's a division game, and if they start to lose this game by halftime, I think it just starts pouring on them. When it rains, it pours. I think it'll be competitive till halftime.
Wentz is a garbage quarterback, but he's going to look good in this game.
So you could do live betting. Live betting is usually really good if you're watching it. So what it does is basically you're on, and AI comes up with lines, depending on things. And it's really late. So if you're watching the game, if you know what's going on in the game, you can look at these, just kind of scroll through, and they'll pop up at halftime, and you'd be like, oh, that one's easy. It's a really easy way to make money. But you're limited to that game because you really have to watch the game. And everybody does these
red zone.
Yeah, red zone, where they're not watching the game, and it's really hard to get those narratives. But this would be a game to do it because I believe that it's going to be competitive, and then they're just going to fall off a cliff. If there's more than a touchdown lead going into halftime, they're going to come out and just quit.
I believe Dallas is going to come out and quit as soon as the ball is snapped. That's how they've been playing. Dude, it's embarrassing. But the good thing is, though, if you've got Miles Sanders on your fantasy team, this is a week to definitely start him. Absolutely. He's going to freaking blow it up because Dallas is as long as dead last against the run.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait, Sanders is out. This is Scott.
Oh, Sanders is out?
Sanders is
okay.
Out. So you got to play Boston Scott.
You got to start Boston Scott.
Yeah.
I put down 24-13 Eagles. They moved the line up half a point, which technically makes the Cowboys cover.
You may want to change that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 26-10.
There you go. I got a 28-16 Eagles.
I got the Eagles killing them 31-10.
Yeah, I hate changing it because I really like having my line. And then after all these stats and numbers come out, it makes me more confident or less confident depending on the circumstances. And every once in a while, I realize that maybe this is not enough.
You guys have to understand, me picking this game and picking the damn Eagles to destroy my Cowboys like this hurt so bad. I almost wanted to cry. I mean, it's not like when they played the Falcons or the Rams, like, all right, they're not in the division anyway. When you're picking somebody in your own division to destroy your team, because you know they're that bad, I'm still butthurt over it, but it's reality. It's going to happen.
Welcome to my world of suck.
I was about to say that too. I'm like, now I know how he feels every single week.
You have 7 weeks of it. Dude, it's been 17 years of suck. Well, I guess we had those 2 seasons with Rex Ryan, but then it was like another 7 years before the Steelers took our soul in the playoffs. But it's been a long time of suck. Tampa Bay at the Giants. I think Tampa Bay is a real deal. I think the few moves they made were the right moves. Tom Brady's having the best fantasy season in the last 8 years.
Well, look at the weapons he has. It's kind of hard not to do good.
Yeah. Even with Godwin out, I mean, it's still.
Ronald Jones, Fournette, or both?
Ronald Jones. I don't see. They just have. I don't see Fournette getting a lot.
They made him the receiving back. They said it. They said he is the receiving.
Yeah, but I mean, running wise, Jones is just hot right now. Why ruin that?
I think Fournette will take over. I think slowly but surely he will take over.
It's so funny because it's a perfect indication of, statistically speaking, how the NFL has changed in 20 years. You go back 20 years. Slot receivers were little guys. Running backs, the third down back was the little guy. The big guy was the runner. and now everything's bass backwards. You have the biggest wide receiver on a team typically play the slot. The smallest running back is the running back, and then the bigger running back is the third down. And that's how, it's not just them, it's everybody's like that. It's because all these different rules and stuff, and it's like, oh, you could be
every week something just blows his mind, doesn't it?
You could be 14 pounds and run the ball in today's NFL. When there was, Barry Sanders, it was amazing because you shouldn't be that little. Curtis Martin, he was good because it was hard to tackle him. Why was it hard to tackle him? Because everybody was like the fridge, Jerome Bettis. Like they were big, slow guys, right? And then you get this dude like a ballerina, and there blows him away.
Guys.
And the NFL has just flipped on its head.
I think a lot of that is, though, too, if you notice, the NFL's gone away from the fullback. So you get those bigger bruising bodies in there for those third down and goal line runs.
I love the fullback. Schlesinger, dude. Schlesinger was awesome.
Are you kidding me?
Mike Allstott.
Gerald the Moose Johnson. Come on, dude.
Those were the best guys. Who remembers just the whole crowd going, Coon, every time Coon got the ball? I mean, and Peyton Hillis was a fullback.
Yeah.
Then he just started getting the ball. It's nice to see these big, really like over ripped guys just run face first 3 yards, because it's hard to stop them and just knock everybody over.
Right. They're like a trainer. They just fall forward and just take a couple people with them. It was awesome.
Yeah, the reason I said that is, I digress. Ronald Jones, Fournette are both, is because I can easily see them just taking off on this game. I was really modest here because I just have to cover points. I have it 28-13, Tampa, but I could easily see this be like 41-0. I think the Giants are starting to look more like they're competent, but they're still bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think it's the Jets, a little bit of space, Cowboys, then a little bit of space, and then the Giants. And then the next fourth guy is just way up there. I think those three are just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, especially two of them are in our division. Thanks.
Hey, you're still in the division.
That's what's sad.
That is the saddest thing. They're 2-5, but still got a shot.
Yeah, I got the Bucs 35-13. I'll take them to cover.
I think it's going to be a little bit closer. I got the Buccaneers winning 28-17, but the Giants do cover.
So this part of the show is our general topics. We're just going to hit fast fire things that we couldn't fit into the main show. It was recorded at the same time. It's coming out a little bit later until I get the computer I blew up fixed. I need a little bit more time for editing.
I blew it up. Just boomed it.
Yeah, what he said. So, first topic.
I did this one. Fuller, he didn't have a good game against the Packers. Jair Alexander was able to stop him until garbage time when he was way off of him and he got a touchdown. It's garbage time. Cooks, I'm going off the last 3 weeks, has been very consistent, more so than Fuller, and he's had more points than Fuller. I like Fuller or Cooks going forward in this offense more than Fuller.
Yeah, from the beginning, preseason, I said Fuller was better than Cooks. Because he had been, he's always will be. But they both have injury risk.
Yeah, but Fuller's more injury prone than Cooks.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that until this topic was brought up. I think the ceiling is pretty close together. There was a good rip last year where Fuller was just getting touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. I mean, long ones, 40-yard touchdown, 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, but he was leaning on Hopkins then because Hopkins get double covered and wouldn't be open. That left Fuller open.
Yeah.
Now, but I don't think Cooks is quite as good as Fuller, though.
Well,
Cooks,
I think they're
always
pretty close to each other. But with Fuller there, he's taking the ones most of the time, so that helps Cooks even more.
Yeah.
I think they're both inconsistent for the most part. I think they both have injury risk for the most part. So my value on them both are low-end wide receiver 2s with a high side of a low-end wide receiver 1. Like that's kind of my range of where I have them.
Which is probably a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would just have Cooks ahead of him. That's just my preference.
Yeah.
Going off the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see moving forward. I was a buyer a little bit of both of these guys because I could get them pretty cheap in the beginning of the season. They got really hyped really fast after that week 1 game, and I kind of pulled off of them and never looked back. I think if you have them now, you can't sell them for your original.
No. Well, you probably didn't get him for that much. Maybe Fuller, but Cooks, no.
Yeah, I think your best shot is waiting until the end of the season when their season stats come out, because that's what hides a lot of inconsistency. Like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is great because you look at that number. But then when you have him, you're like, well, he got 0 points this week. Oh, he got 35. Oh, he got 0 points. Like that inconsistency you can't have in fantasy. And it's hidden at the end of the season. So you just got to run with them until end of the season or late in the season when the large number can hide. But yeah, the injury risk, the only reason why I lean Fuller is because I primarily only play in dynasty leagues. And Cooks is closer to his way out the door than Fuller.
Is he? There's trade rumors going around for Fuller.
I mean, as a career.
Oh.
But that might be also the trade rumors. They'll start cutting salary costs. Obviously, they're not going to have a good year. Maybe they're looking at a wide receiver in the draft. Maybe they want to bring in that new,
but it's not like
hopefully
Cooks is
DeAndre
old.
Hopkins kind of guy.
I guess, yeah.
So this is the week of force feeding players before the trade deadline. Typically this happens every year. Players will get force fed volume to help make a trade go through. And the one I see happening the most is Juju Smith-Schuster. They've been trying to trade him for a while. He's running out of his contract. They're not going to get much for him for that reason. So I think they want to try to bump his value. Otherwise, they're going to have to sign him or just let him go. So I could see him being force-fed the most. There has been some rumblings about AJ Green getting traded. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. There are some rumors about Fuller as well. So this is the week for those people who are typically in that realm. This is going to be a game that you probably want to start more than ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next topic is Minshew has been playing with a broken thumb. Apparently, nobody knew this. He had a broken thumb since, I think they said week 2 or 3. He complained about his thumb. He just got his thumb x-rayed, and there's 3 fractures in his thumb.
Which, I mean, if he's been playing on that would account for all that inconsistency that's been happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. Because he played really good early in the season, and then it kind of fell off.
I mean, even I gave up on him. I'm like, okay, maybe he's not the guy. He just come out, look like a show horse, and then just
right.
But I mean, if it's been a broken thumb this whole time, and it's on your throwing hand, you can't grip that football like you should. Maybe that has been a problem then.
So Thursday night, Ridley got injured. It's calling it a midfoot sprain. With him out, Gage looks to be the receiver too, so he should see an uptick. And then you also have Julio. It should help him out, and maybe he gets more touchdowns because Ridley seemed to be getting the touchdowns.
Yeah, I say Julio's been getting the yards, but he's not getting in the end zone. And
Yeah, Gage has a lot of potential. He's not getting a lot of market share. They really spread the ball out a lot. But Gage has really went to the wayside when Julio came back. And that's because I don't think they like him anywhere other than the outside. And he's not going to play over Julio and Ridley.
Right.
So now that Ridley's hurt, I can see Gage getting that volume again. that we saw earlier in the season because he's going to the outside.
I think it benefits Hurst more than it does Gage. When after Ridley went out, it looked like Hurst started getting an uptick in his usage with him out. So I think he does more than Gage.
Yeah, I like Hurst.
And see, that's where I'd see. Will Hurst just bump up to that number 3 role for right now? Or keep Gage in that number 3 role where he's been all right, move Hurst into Ridley's spot?
They might.